All right, traders, a very warm welcome to you all to the episode 16 of TFA Talks. I'm Devang Mehra and we have Himalay Bhatia with us today for the episode. So, Himalay, what do you think about the markets going forward? It's a very explosive week and we have been waiting for this week to get over for quite some time. What is your outlook for the week going ahead?
Right. This week will definitely be very explosive in nature. However, I'd like to add a few points over here is that there have been a few positive developments in the market. First is your Reliance results. It beat the estimates, the street estimates, but the retail sector was lagging a little. But Geo had outperformed very well. The second result that had come out was ICICI Bank. It has given a profit of six times. And finally, the auto sales data that was also a really big positive for the market. So,
Yeah.
do you think that these positives will add up and take the market up?
Yeah, I think the positives that you have mentioned, along with the GST collections data that has been out. So GST
Right.
collections have crossed 1 lakh crore in a very, very long time. The monthly collections, that's another positive thing. As you said, ICICI has done very well. Reliance has done very well. It was expected to fall, but they have done much better than expectations. So even the monthly sales data, as you are saying, have done very well. And they are showing you that recovery is happening in the country on the demand
Mhm.
side, and the economy is reviving. So it is possible that the markets, because of these factors, can open a gap up. I will not rule it out because even the Dow has closed in green on Friday, and even the SGX, the Nifty futures, have closed in green. So you can get a gap up. But I think there are a couple of events, domestic events scheduled, like your PMI data, the service and the manufacturing data. But I think none of this will matter. The only thing that matters will be what happens on Tuesday, the US presidential elections. What are your views about that?
Right.
Because I think whatever is going to happen on Tuesday, no matter how positive, how bearish you are, everything can get crushed in a minute. That's what my personal view is.
Absolutely. I do agree with you on that. Now the major event that we have ahead of us is this presidential elections, and I think you had a few points to tell our viewers on the presidential elections.
Yeah.
If
So,
Biden
so
comes
what
in power,
my
if Trump comes in
yeah.
power.
So, what? So we had a BBC poll of polls which was suggesting that
Yes.
Biden is coming into power. He was leading with a 52% votes, but in the last 2 3 days, I have got my sources saying that Trump has started to take over the lead. So see, there is a lot of
Okay.
confusion, and it will prevail because it's one of the biggest events. So it's not our job to forecast. But one thing is clear, that there are three outcomes that can happen in the elections, in the American elections. The first is that either Joe Biden will lead with clean majority. That's one outcome. The other is that Donald Trump will win with a clean slate. And the third outcome is we can have something that is called a contested elections. So what if
Mhm.
both of these parties, they don't have a very clean and a simple victory? They are just side by side with each other. So the other party who has lost can contest the election on the ground of validity of the elections. That can happen. So my personal
Right.
view is, if there is a clean victory, so I think, as you mentioned earlier, Biden coming into power may be negative for the markets in India, especially,
Mhm.
and Trump coming into power can be positive for the markets. But what is for sure, and what is something I would like to act upon, is if we have a contested elections, then that will be a very big blow to the world markets. The simple reason being that any country wants, if the stock markets have to go higher, if the country has to do well, any country has to have some stable government, stable political government. So if there is a contested elections, then the stability goes away. And I think if that is announced, the markets will go down.
Absolutely, I do agree with you on that as well. So maybe you would like to shed some light on Nifty as well.
Yeah. So what do you think, before I get into that, what do you think, when will the results be out of the elections? Will we know it on Tuesday, on Wednesday? What do you think about that?
See, in the last elections, the result was out the next day itself, and that was heavily impacted in the market. The results was immediately factored in. However, this time, due to the postal ballots and the other reasons, I think there'll be a delay of 3 4 days for the results of the presidential elections this
Yeah,
year.
I also remember last time, the immediate next day, that Trump was leading. That was one view that was already out, and that already got factored in, and things got good. And but today, as you said, because of these postal ballots, we can have some delays. But in the best case scenario, on the next day, which is Wednesday by the afternoon, something can be understood. some idea I think we can get
There
about
will
it.
be a few,
Yeah.
updates here and there talking about who's front running the election. So I think that is something we should have our eyes glued on.
Yeah, so I think if you want all these updates, just make sure you join our WhatsApp group because we are making sure we give you these live stock market updates. So just message us on Instagram at the financial analyst or WhatsApp us at 8080343031. Okay. So Himalay, I was going through the data, the FII, DI data, and there are some very good points that I would like to make for the viewers. The thing is, we have just got done with a week, and to discuss what can happen on the next week, the data points that come in are very important. So, would you like me to
Hmm.
discuss these points before we move ahead?
Sure, sure.
So the FII data, as you all know it, the FIIs have convincingly been shorting the index futures for a very long time now, for the last 3 days, and that is something we haven't seen since September 24th, to be precise. So FIIs last week on 23rd of October, they were long on the index futures by 33,900 contracts, and yesterday on the 30th of October, sorry, they were short on 25,000 contracts. So that is telling
Hmm.
you FIIs are not really willing to buy in the market. That force is going away. The same is the case with the proprietary traders. They were in the last week, 23rd of October, they were long 12,000 contracts. And this week, they have also gone short finally of 2,000 contracts. And the retailers, the clients, like people like you and me, we are buying like crazy. This is a
Hmm.
negative news. The data point is suggesting that FIIs are not very, they have some bearish sentiment on the index futures. I think that is the reason you have been telling everyone to try to avoid the markets on the index side and try to
Yes.
be stock specific.
Absolutely. So what I am asking people is to, avoid these couple of days when it comes to trading. If you're a scalper, I think this market is for scalpers only. And even if you're scalping, I think you should focus on hedging and instead of just taking a position on one side. That will also protect your capital, and I think you can make profit that way only. Otherwise, this market is not for trading at least for the next 2 to 3 days. And talking about the FII, DII data and the retailers' data, I think that has created a lot of confusion in the market. So, what levels would you like to give to the clients basis this?
Yeah, so one good news about the FI data for the bulls is that the stock futures, the FIIs have been buying like crazy. So the reason we are saying confusion for the viewers, since we all know the data, the reason we are saying there is confusion in the market is because on one side the pros and your FIs are shorting index. At the same
Hmm.
time, they are going long in huge quantities in the stock futures. So currently they are long on 2,42,000 contracts, which is much higher than what it was on the 1st of October. So that is one news which is causing a lot of confusion. And this is why we are saying try to be more stock specific. We can see wild swings to come into this week because of the data that's come in and because of the events that have come in. So
I think even the TCR had increased on Friday
yeah, yeah,
from around 1.4 to 1.6. That clearly indicates that the people who are already long in the market, there might be a big trap for them, and they should be a little cautious. And this we have been repeatedly asking our viewers for the past couple of episodes to protect their capital, to protect their portfolios, and to sit on a little cash. And once the markets are on the downside, you can immediately take into action and buy quality stocks.
yeah.
So this is one point I'd like to again mention over here if you are new to this channel.
Let's talk about
All
the global markets to start with, because we'll
hmm.
have to get an understanding since the event is in America. We have to see what America is reacting. So you can see on the charts that Dow Jones on the daily time frame has given a double top, and it has significantly closed below that double top of
Hmm.
26,700. So this pattern for me has got activated. If you look at the weekly charts also, something that is negative for the markets on the weekly chart, the double top has been formed and that has been broken. So I would like to place my analysis, with regards to this. We might, as Himalaya was saying, we have some positive news in the market, we might get some pullback, but because of this overall sentiment I'm seeing, I am becoming a little bit more bearish. I'm becoming more cautious. What do you think about this?
Yes, right. So I would also like to place a little bit of focus on India VIX.
Okay.
India VIX has breached the 24 level since April. That's the first time since April it has breached the 24 level.
Yeah.
And If we look at the historical data purely, then it has always shown that whenever the India VIX crosses the 24 level, the markets are in a bearish momentum. And once it breaches the 28 level, then the market becomes extremely bearish.
Right,
So,
right.
this is something that I want the viewers to keep in mind. This is very important, understanding your VIX, the correlation between your India VIX and the markets as well. So, that is
Yeah.
my take on the
Yeah, that's
markets.
right. Even the dollar index, as you always like to talk about that, the dollar index has also been doing very well. The dollar, as compared to the other currencies, is becoming stronger, and it currently is at 94.03. So
Hmm.
we have also created something like a double bottom pattern, and we are breaking above that. So the dollar going higher will mean the emerging
Right.
markets going down. So these are some kind of negative signals the charts are telling us. So I'm not concerned about the what the news flow is coming in, because I feel it's already discounted. But the charts are telling me some signals that things are not looking very good to me. Also, about the S&P 500, I would say the 3200 is a last line of defense now in the coming week. If you are trading below 3200 on the S&P 500, the double top is complete, and then you can see a very big fall in the American markets. The same level for the Nasdaq would be coming around 10,760. So you'll have to keep watch on these levels and make sure they are not broken, because if they are broken, they will be causing some panic in the market. Do mark our words.
Absolutely. It will create a lot of pressure on the Indian markets as well.
Yeah. So the as Himalaya was mentioning about the India VIX, we also have the S&P 500 volatility index, and any data above 30 is considered, detriment for the market, negative for the market. Currently, we're at 38, so that is again a very bad sentiment. Any VIX, if the VIX goes above this 43 mark, this will be the highest it has been since the last 6 months. That is going to be very bad. So considering all of this data, I want everyone, as Himalaya has just mentioned, try to guard your profits. If you are at cost to cost, if you are at little bit profit, little bit loss, try to get out of that position, and only,
Yes.
I would say, be in a hedged position. What do you think about that?
Yes. Even if you look at this RSI over here, it's re-entering the normal zone
Yeah.
from the overbought zone. So that is again a very big negative. And if the sellers are established over here, then I think it will be too bad for the not only the global markets but also the Indian markets as well. So
Yeah.
these are a few points that you should keep in mind. All right. So let's move to Nifty.
Okay.
What is your take on Nifty? What levels would you like to give on Nifty?
Yeah, so I just want to mention what we said last week, because the points that we gave last week, the Fibonacci levels you gave last week were exactly held. I think you did
Hmm.
make them clear in 30th October video. But one point we kept on stressing is that 20 MA, if you look at the Bollinger Band, was always sustained. And we
Hmm.
clearly mentioned if 20 MA is broken, then you take support at the lower Bollinger Band. It had happened here. It had happened around here also when you broke the 20 MA. And again, when you broke 20 MA recently, you today have on Friday, you took a support at the low Bollinger Band. These were a
Yes.
couple data points we made quite clear, and you should have been able to make money on this. The other point Himalaya kept on stressing was the Fibonacci, because he loves to trade these Fibonacci levels, and he kept on saying that the 38.2% level on Fibonacci is very, very important, and that's exactly where the markets took support.
Hmm.
Also, why the markets took support here was this was your 50 moving average, and you can see the purple line. And this was, I think, made very clear by Himalaya in the post market video, that 50 MA, lower Bollinger Band, your Fibonacci level, all of these
Hmm.
points gave you a support in the market. So, Himalaya, what do you think if markets go below this 38.2%? Do you think we can trade below 50%, 61.8%? Do you think that's
Yes,
going to happen?
I think we can easily trade. Not only there are gaps over there to be filled, but also look at your RSI. It has again breached the 52 level,
Yeah,
and whenever RSI on your Nifty breaches the 52 level, it goes and tends to complete the entire cycle. And
yeah,
it was also witnessed in your September. Yes, absolutely. It was also witnessed in the month of September. Once your 52 level was breached, it went on to complete the entire cycle, and that is what I'm expecting this time. There is a brief level at 40, but that is something which is a very weak level I consider for Nifty.
yeah. So we can get a
So
pullback as how these markets work. We can get a pullback back to 50, 52, and then we can again fall back. I think this pullback is quite possible because of maybe a gap up opening tomorrow due to the positive sentiment
yes,
that has come over the weekend.
yes. And also, I will be extremely bearish on the market if the market is below 11,720, and I'll be cautiously bearish if the market moves above 11,720. I will only change my stance to bullish once the market reaches 12,000 or 12,100. So that is my view on Nifty. What levels would you like to discuss on Nifty?
Okay, so firstly, since there is a confusion in the data, whenever there is confusion, I would like to always take a back seat and try to analyze the markets, because analyzing the markets objectively is very important. If you are in a position, you can't analyze objectively. So there is a good trend line that I have plotted on the 15-minute charts coming from 920 all the way here. So I think it's very important where the markets open tomorrow. If they open gap up, so currently we're at about 640 levels. If you open gap up, then you can try to go to 720. It's quite possible because of the sentiment that has come in. So I think 720 is a place where a resistance will try to come in again and again. It has been done in the past. And the support will then become towards that 650 level that you are mentioning. Trading below 650 will be the first sentiment, the first thing I would be concerned about, because that's one area we have taken a support earlier. We are currently
Mm,
taking resistance there. So if you open flat and you move towards 720, tomorrow I won't short at 720. I'll probably be shorting only below 650 and aggressively shorting below 600 and more aggressively shorting below 550 if
550.
that comes. If that
Mm.
comes. Because Fridays and Mondays are 2 days where the markets are trending. So if they are, that's for the markets to decide. But I will be ready for that. So I will be deciding my positions accordingly. My main request to everyone would be, try to be in the intraday side. I mean, do not try to hold positions, because on Tuesdays the elections and things will be very hazy. So unless
Mm.
until you are hedging your positions, there is no point to hold overnight, because the data points change drastically overnight now.
All right. And like you said, you'd like to short below 11,600 aggressively and 11,550 quite aggressively. What will be the targets below that?
So targets. So on the upside, currently I won't be buying. So if markets do close above 750, that will be
Mm.
one picture that I would be interested in, because markets have been trying to keeps on going lower. If I look at the
Mm.
externals, they keep on going lower and lower and lower. So if markets close above 750, that's a very important level, and I probably uh, will have to change my view or become. I have to see markets more objectively. But currently, I think 720 should be a resistance and it should start falling. On the lower side, if we close below 600, so currently we have not been able to close below 600. We have been trading below 600, but not able to close below that. So if I close even one day below 600, that would mean the stop loss of all the bulls are going to go away. Every bull will
Mm.
be getting stopped out, and then this entire region for me will be opening up. I'm giving unrealistic targets, but I'm in sync with the global market. So if you close below 600, I feel the entire zone will open up.
Not only that, but if you look at the October series as well, despite the operations of the companies resuming and all these good results being posted by the companies or the banks especially, Nifty is again and again, halting at 12,000. It's unable to reach that mark. And every time it goes over there, it is taking a resistance coming down. And finally today, sorry, in the last trading session, it went down till your 550 levels.
Yeah.
So that is again showing a lot of bearish sentiment in the market, and this is something which we should keep in our mind as well.
Yeah, so if markets have to go down, basically, if they have to go down, they have to go down right now. The reason is you are currently just there. That's the 600 level. You are right now here. If the markets go above 750, then I would not like to be on the bearish side. The reason is then it has to go again all the way down. It becomes more difficult for the market. So you have to understand these data points. So if the markets have to fall, they will fall in the next 1 2 days. They will not wait for you to come to 12,000 and then again fall down. And I would like to aggressively buy above 12,000. That is one level I'm concerned about. If that happens, that is one area I would go aggressively buy, because there is a overhang of Diwali and some positive sentiment around Dhanteras, Diwali, all these festivities coming in
Mm.
do drive the markets higher.
Right now, I think what the Indian market participants are, believing in, believing is that the demand in this festive season will be very high, and that is why I think the markets were trying to hold a little in the past couple of trading sessions, but now the bubble has been, blown up a lot, and it is just at the verge to burst. So I'll again ask all the viewers to stay a little cautious. Don't be too bullish. Uh, Play by the levels that we are giving you, and of course, you will be making really good profits with that.
Yeah.
All right,
Let's talk
let's move
about
on to
Bank Nifty.
bank.
So
Sure.
Bank Nifty for me, the chart is more getting more complex. You are making lower highs, lower lows day after day. So lower highs and lower lows day after day. This is getting more choppy than Nifty is. And Bank Nifty
Hmm.
is not able to go above 24,820, the level we are concerned about. Aggressive buying can happen only above 24,820. Below that, you can't go aggressively buy. Markets are choppy, so you can only scalp, as you already said. So, what do you think are the levels for? Will they be the same, or you are giving some different levels?
Levels, I'll stick to the same levels only. On the upside, my level will be 24,300,
Hmm.
followed by a second level of 24,820. On the downside, my level will be of 23,800, followed by a second level of 23,600. So, trader can, probably short below 23,900, which is a crucial level, crucial
Yeah,
support level.
perfect.
Below that, with the targets of 23,800, 23,600. Now,
Mhm.
what I will suggest for Bank Nifty is that tomorrow is the moratorium verdict,
Mhm.
and you won't be seeing a trending market in Bank Nifty for sure tomorrow. It will be extremely, extremely volatile. So, what I urge the viewers is not to build your positions in Bank Nifty. Not building a position in the market is also a strategy
Position.
of trading, and you should follow that. Yes,
Yeah.
and that will, of course, not only protect your capital that you have been earning for the past couple of trading sessions or couple of months. It will also, give you the maturity of what is happening in the market.
Yeah, that's right. So I think for me also the levels on the downside are the same, below 23,900 because currently we're at 23,905, 906, wherever we are. So below
Hmm.
23,900 we have to go short. Again, it depends where the markets open. So if they already open gap down, so you can't then immediately go short. So if you are gap up or gap down, you have to then go for price action. If you open flat, then we will see where the markets want to go. Below 23,900, we'll go for 100-point target, 23,800, and then 23,600. Below that, if you close below all these levels, then it's a very crazy fall that you can get in the market. As Himalay said, I think the moratorium judgment, I don't think it will be again announced tomorrow, the verdict. It will be again postponed. We'll
I
see
think it will
about
be
that.
postponed.
We'll see about
Hmm.
that, but it does create a lot of ruckus in the market. Markets move without any view. They just keep on whiplashing and hitting stops of both buyers and sellers. I would like to go long
I
in the
think the
market.
only stock that will be holding Bank Nifty is ICICI Bank just
Yes,
because
it
of
can.
its results.
It can. It can.
Otherwise, I don't find any reason why Bank Nifty will be up tomorrow.
Yeah. So I think 24,300 is one very good level. As you mentioned, above that, I would like to go long on intraday. I would reduce quantity, obviously, but I would like to go long because I would not like to just sit out in the market. Above 24,300, I want to go long for targets. Target one is 24,400, and then ultimate target would be at 24,820. So I would like to trail my position or maybe take one pivot, two pivot points, how markets are structured.
Or
So
rather, you can go for a hedge position or straddle position as well.
yeah. So, you're right. Since you mentioned straddle, I would like to mention that number one, if you are going to play in the next couple of days in the market, firstly,
Hmm.
do intraday trading. There is no point of positions holding overnight. If you are holding overnight, I only recommend those people who have a lot of capital, who are risky traders. And you people can go for a straddle. You can, I think, go for at the money straddle. That's going to be comfortable. They are expensive. The valuations right now for the straddles are very expensive. I think Nifty
Hmm.
is around 600 and Bank Nifty is around 3,000 or 2,000. I'm not sure about that, but they are expensive. So only the risky people should go for that. And you can either do a short straddle, long straddle, depending on how you like to trade in the market.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you have any stocks for the day?
Yeah, so I've been a lot of my students are asking me about Tata Motors.
Hmm.
I'm getting a lot of requests. So I have a simple. We have discussed all of these things in the 50 stocks video. So if you haven't watched that video, do watch that 50 stocks to trade video in November. We already about 10 stocks out of 50 have already hit their targets. We have made a lot
Hmm.
of money. So in Tata Motors, since you have a lot of doubts, so this is a very good support trend line that's coming in on the daily chart. Also, a very very strong resistance has been coming in for the last 2 years. So I would like to go long on Tata Motors only above 140. If Tata Motors closes above 140 or trades above 140, that's the only place I would like to go long on. Himalaya, do you have any other
Right.
contrary views?
No, I'm with you on this one.
Yeah, so 120 for me is the last line of defense if you are holding in positional basis also. 120 is the last cushion. Below that is a big sell off. If you want to go long on Tata for stocks or portfolio or cash, whatever, then 140 above is long. Otherwise, I'm sitting out in the market tomorrow. Most probably, I have some personal commitments. But if there are some stocks I like, I will be putting up a video live in the market. So click that bell icon, subscribe to our channel, and like this video. What do you think, Himalay? What is your trade like?
I'm focusing on Maruti.
Okay,
Maruti has given good results. Sorry, its auto sales was really good, but still, what I'll be doing in Maruti is I am looking for a short position in Maruti. This is something which is contrary to the data. I know that, but my analysis is a little different. So I will be personally shorting Maruti below 6925 with the first target of 6880
okay.
and following a second target of 6825, followed by a third target of 6800. And
Okay.
if it reaches 6800, it will complete the double top pattern as well. And we will be talking about what happens after that only
Yeah,
once
this is
this
a very,
pattern is
very
complete.
strong. The 6,800 levels approximately are
Hmm.
very strong. And that's a double confluence of the trend line support and even the horizontal
Yes.
support. So that should be the target. If it goes below that, if it does fall tomorrow, I would say try to book it there because that's a very good data point for support.
I wouldn't ask anyone to long as of now because I personally am bearish in the market. The second stock that I have in mind is, of course, ICICI Bank. Now, what I expect in ICICI Bank is a gap up tomorrow, 1-2%, maybe a 3% gap up itself. So if that
Okay.
happens, then the trade won't be, we won't take the trade that I'm about to say. But if
Mhm.
there's a flat opening or a near gap opening, then I'll say that short below 390 with a target of 380. Again, despite the good results, I'm asking to short and not be long on the markets. There
Okay.
are the data is a little bearish. Also, there's some news in the market, so I'll be on the short side only. I'm again not giving any trade on the upside.
All right. Perfect. So that's the Himalayas view. Again, if we have any stocks, if we are active in the markets tomorrow, someone from our team will put up a video or they will post in the community channel on our channel. So otherwise, if you want to stay in touch with us, I would say just join our WhatsApp group. We have given you the details, or message us. We'll give you the details. And I think that's it. Any other views you have in the market?
No, that's it. As of now, I'll sit out in the market for the next two to 3 days.
All
That's
right.
about it.
All right. Thank you so much, viewers. We hope you liked this episode. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share with your colleagues and friends, and we'll see you tomorrow evening in the episode of TFA Talks. All right.
Have a good day.